Good morning, everybody. Now, like coming to live spirit coffee. Got my coffee here. Cheers. Oh my gosh. Happy Monday morning. I woke up this morning and go, what day is it again? Took me a while to just kind of recollect and say, okay, let's gather my thoughts, girlfriend. What day is it? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's Monday. Although it took me a while to remember because who's counting the days? I'm not. It is a day. Good morning, Jose Luis. How are you? So I wanted to start, it's really interesting because um, I do this work, right? Which is, me just giving back or supporting individuals into um, with their mental, spiritual, emotional well-being, supporting people to start to connect to their heart, remember who they are. Good morning. And really start to question who are they, good morning, Eski, in this particular world and how they're showing up and how they're connected to the world and all these beautiful things. Um, and I also talk about esoterics, right? But one thing that ends up happening, which is interesting, I want to address because it sort of came up, is the fact that individuals tend to say, start to look at you through the magnifying glass. They start to look and say, oh, when is this person going to mess up? Oh, when is this person going to do this? And good morning, Michael. And here's the reality. I'm not perfect. Duh. I'm human. I'm stuck in this meat suit or this three-dimensional time space. And because of that, I'm naturally not 100% perfect, right? We decay. Of course, we're not perfect. And by that, I don't just mean in our thoughts and what we do, but also in the fact that we decay, right? Now, that could be perfectly perfect, natural process of what happens in the world around us. But I'm not a perfect human being. I make mistakes, right? And that's how I learn. I learn through my mistakes. Now, here's the deal. And most people are afraid to speak up and speak out because why? Because we can get backlash from people, right? You get what they call the haters, or you get people who, can really tear you down. Or they say things about you, or they are looking at you under a microscope and start to point fingers and say, oh, this and that, about you. And you have to stand firm and strong and say, guess what? I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. It's not the point of this. That's not the point of Spirit and Coffee. That's not the point of all the things that I talk about. I'm not here to tell people to be perfect. That's not the point. The point is not that. The point is for you to get a little bit closer to your authentic truth. And sometimes when you're driving yourself closer to your authentic truth, you piss some people off. Why do you piss people off? Because people don't want to hear what your truth is. Now, I don't mean your truth is in telling people, pointing fingers, but really owning your experience, right? What is the experience that you're having and being able to communicate and set boundaries with people? Like, I can't be around certain energies. Good morning, Stephanie. Why? Because it's not good for my mental, spiritual, emotional well-being. It's okay to disconnect and disassociate from those that are not supporting you with your mental, spiritual, emotional, physical well-being. You can say, look, it's just not fitting. All it's doing is causing me pain, suffering, and it's okay to disconnect. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't need to hang on to things that are toxic for us. When we do that, we end up what? We end up killing our own selves. Some part of us dies off. And by killing ourselves, I don't mean like a physical death, but it could be an emotional death or a mental death. And then we don't feel good, right? And then things start to fall apart for us. And for what? To hold on to what? To hold on to the idea that you think this individual is going to change or going to be different, and you've wasted how much time of your life, right? So I'm not perfect. So I'm just going to throw that out there again and again and again. I'm not trying to do this to be perfect. I do this to support people so that they can start to understand that they themselves have the power within them, right, to start their journey to healing. It's all about healing, and everything that we do, every step that we take should be, if it's not already, towards your healing, towards healing that inner side of you, your spiritual, your emotional, your physical healing. How do I eat the proper foods to heal my body? How do I nurture my thoughts with the proper thoughts to heal my thought process? How do I feed myself emotional love and support so that I can start healing myself emotionally? What is it that it needs in order to thrive and survive and feel good and release the toxins from my life? Good morning, Ilza. Ilza? Art Queen. Cheers to you. That's the questions you should be asking yourself. If you wanted to do it in a, good morning, Lisa Matthews. If you wanted to do it in a, like an exercise, what you could do is you can sort of, I like circles. I'm always like, draw circles out. Draw a circle of your mental, a circle for your spiritual, a circle for your emotional, and a circle for your physical. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So you can do all four of those, okay? And you can ask yourself in the circle what you're feeding that fruit. What are you feeding your mental circle? Are you nurturing it with love? Or are you allowing toxicity or toxins to come in and feed you? Good morning, Chelsea. So what is it that you're inserting into that particular fruit? And you could even draw out fruit. You could say, look, my spiritual essence looks like an apple. And you draw out an apple. And then you ask yourself, what are you feeding that apple? What other apples are around it? Is there rotten apples? Because you already know how that says one rotten apple can ruin the bunch, right? Asking, are you feeding yourself toxins? Or you can draw trees. You can say each one of these is a tree. So my emotional well-being is a tree. And maybe it's a fruit tree that produces oranges. And maybe my spiritual, my physical it does apples. Or maybe it's a whole ecosystem of trees. And they're all interconnected through their root systems. And you have to ask yourself, what are you feeding your plant? Are you feeding it toxins? Are there weeds there that need to be pulled out? So this is not about being perfect. And people get it twisted all the time with the work I do. Now, am I working towards a goal? Yes. And each time that I work towards a goal, right, I put in practice, time, and effort, which I love. And I've talked about my Kung Fu a bunch. Why? Because Kung Fu is time and effort. It's what it means. It means time and effort. It's the time and effort that you put into a practice, into something that you're doing. Now, are you striving for perfection? Perhaps. Will you ever get there? No. Nobody's perfect. No one's ever going to reach perfection. You know, it's crazy to even think that way. Perfection is, if you thought about it, there's this balance that sort of happens. It's another thing, another concept from Kung Fu. I just love it. I could keep bringing these concepts from Kung Fu. In Tai Chi, you're never fully one way or the other because it's the yin and the yang. So you're sort of in the balance in between, that you're sort of doing this dance between the two. You're kind of going like this. It's like there's like a teeter-totter between the two. And if you thought about it in the light, in the dark, you're starting to teeter-totter and you're trying to find your balance in between the two extremities. We even bring in Buddhism here, where Buddhism talks about the extremities, right? The suffering lies in the extreme. Too much of something is not good. So what we do is we try to find the balance or the middle. And that middle allows us to sort of go like this. We're kind of back and forth. And the distance between that becomes shorter. And so we're able to balance a little bit better. So imagine yourself on a high wire, and imagine that your feet are too close together, too extreme. If we looked at that, the too extreme would be that they're too close together. That's extreme. Now think about trying to balance when your feet are too close together. You can't do that, right? It's better to balance when your feet are a little bit apart, right? Now think about if your legs are too spread apart. You can't balance that way either. So you're sort of looking for the balance in between the two. And that's life. You're going to make mistakes, but how far you fall is totally up to you. Here's the deal. People want to climb a mountain. People are saying this. I want all this money. I want all this stuff. I want to be enlightened. I want to go all the way to the top. Okay. And then they get to the top, but they don't realize that if they do fall, right, from the top, the fall is going to be very, very, very long and very hard. So rather than say, I want to go all the way to the top so I could fall flat on my face, you say, maybe I'll take baby steps and build a foundation, build something that's firm. And when you fall, the fall isn't so far. So you're taking baby steps to get there. And all you're looking for is the balance. You don't have to listen to me. You could strive for perfection if you want to be perfect. And guess what? You're going to drive yourself crazy. So here's the deal. I know I'm not perfect. Duh. I'm human. Do I make mistakes? Yes, absolutely. Spirit and Coffee is not about that. It's accepting that we are not perfect. It's accepting that we have a shadow side. It's accepting that we make mistakes. It's accepting that we fall on our face. It's the acceptance of that and recognizing that we can turn that into something beautiful. That's what it is. It's the turning of the ugly, the murky, the icky stuff into something beautiful. That's alchemy. Alchemy doesn't deny the shadow. Alchemy doesn't deny it. It acknowledges that it's there. It doesn't exist there always. It takes that and it says, how do I create something beautiful? So I would say that Dr. Strange, which I've talked about before, is a great way to look at it. And his master is pulls from the darkness to shine the light. Now, that's alchemy. And some of them got upset, right? They're like, I just wanted, her to be completely light. But the reality is that's not the case. There's the shadow side of us. We have a shadow. We even have a shadow when we stand up and the light is hitting us. There's a shadow there. We cast shadows. You can't deny it. Denying it is simply saying that that's not a part of me. And that is somebody who wants to be perfect. They want to live in the light completely and don't want anything to do with the darkness. But the reality is, then what? You're denying a part of yourself, which is shadow. The denial of it itself is a shadow. So, it's funny because I'm not perfect. Okay. So there, I said it. Ooh, big burn. I'm not trying to be perfect. I will say that that's one of my downfalls is that, good morning, Tammy, at some point I wanted to be perfect, right? I wanted to be, I have this issue with things being in order, things being perfectly perfect. And I had OCD growing up and all these things that I had, right? And recognizing that, no, in fact, it's not. Hey, from Vermont, how are you? Cheers to you. And so we're not perfect, and that's okay. Own it. I own my imperfection. I say things that are not appropriate, but I'll live up to that. That's the point. Living up to it and saying, hey, I may have said some shit that wasn't nice, and excuse my language, but I may have said some things that were not nice. Or I may have said things that are nice, or whatever it is. Let's see. Maybe we could take a caller. Let's see, Alpha. You want to call in? Hold on 1 second. Let's see what we got here. I think that they can hear you live on my Facebook.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and how are you on this fine, lovely day?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'd be doing better if I didn't just choke to death on coffee. But other than that, I'm great.
Oh, good. Good. So you're in Vermont.
I am. Here, let me turn this down because it's echoing. I can hear it on my end.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to.
Good morning, Poetic.
It's poetic on here. Oh, let's see. Good morning, poetic. Awesome. So, I'm talking about perfectionism. So let's just say this. People, right, put you under the radar, or they look at you if you're doing something spiritual, and then when you make a mistake, they say, "Oh, look at them." So the point is not to be perfect. No one's perfect.
Amen to that. I am not perfect in any way, shape, or form. I am what they know as a jack of many trades, a master of none.
Yes. And the thing is, it's funny because I don't know if people are looking to find that perfect person, one, or to engage in the fact that they want to see people fall from grace for some reason so that they can maybe feel good about their own fall from grace.
Oh, see, I'm not looking for the perfect person. I'm just looking for somebody who's willing to tolerate my ass.
Yes, tell me about it, right? The tolerance is the perfect word.
That's number one on my roster on dating somebody. They have to tolerate me and all my nutty quirks.
Yes, 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 yes. Tolerance. And it's funny because so I'll say this with family, which is the hardest one. Um, as I was doing a lot of my spiritual work growing up, that was the one thing that they would always do is just mock me and mock me and mock me. And I'm like, I am not looking to be this perfect person. All I'm trying to do is to get a little bit closer to my authentic self and speak my truth. That's it.
Exactly. You're not looking to become perfect. You're just looking to find out who you are, why you are, and when you are.
Yeah, exactly. And then
See, I had that same problem with my family because my family was part of a coven. So my mother was one of the high priestess of the council, of the family council. When she died, I took her spot. They were very much into perfection. And I explained to them on several occasions, I cannot do perfection. I can do good enough, but I can't do perfection. Sorry.
And no one is. That's the point. If we were perfect, we'd live forever in harmony.
If we were perfect, the world would be boring.
Exactly. And then
it would be like painting with all one color and everybody being one color.
Exactly.
The reason God made everybody different colors is because we like variety.
Variety, that's correct. And difference. And also we decay. If we were perfect, we wouldn't decay as a human body, right? We would never decay.
Oh goodness, no, we would never learn nothing. We wouldn't have to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I enjoy fucking up. Excuse my French, but I enjoy fucking up. I enjoy learning from the fact that, oh wow, I just messed up.
Yes, me too. So tell me about you. So you got on here. Was there something that specifically that you wanted to say?
Not particularly. I just thought I'd join you as a co-host this morning and see how things are rocking and rolling.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining me. And you had a really good, what was it, that opening?
I do appreciate that.
You could do it for Spirit and Coffee. And good morning, top of the hour, Spirit and Coffee.
We'd like to thank you all for coming to Spirit and Coffee. We'll be taking off in about 45 minutes.
You could do voiceovers for people.
So you can tell that I used to work for Delta.
It's good. So hey, tell me about this real quick because you said she was part of a coven and all. Tell me what all that is. I don't really know what that is. So can you explain that to me?
You mean the coven part?
Yeah.
A coven is a group of witches.
Okay.
Whether they're good, bad, indifferent. We had a variety in the coven. We still do. We have Like my aunt Margaret. She's one of the evilest bitches I know. And
Okay.
she studies in the black dark arts.
Uh-huh.
And then there's my Aunt Jeannie, who is
Uh-huh.
very much light. She's the complete opposite of her sister Margaret.
Uh-huh.
I've learned magic from Margaret. I've learned magic from Jeannie. I've learned 90% of what I know from my mother Nancy.
Okay.
My big thing is tarot cards. That's my je ne sais quoi.
Okay. Je ne sais quoi?
Je ne sais quoi. It's
Je
my
je ne
my
sais
edge in life.
Ooh, je ne sais quoi. Okay, I like that. I don't know. I never heard that before. Okay, go ahead.
My mother taught me how to use spirit dice, how to speak with the dead. She did fool around with a little bit of necromancing, and I shied away immediately.
Okay.
What's dead should stay dead.
Okay.
After she stepped out of the necromancing and the dark world with her sister Margaret for a while, after she came back to the light side, she started teaching me how to use spirit dice instead of a Ouija board, because a Ouija board's very dangerous. I have 3 of them. I have one of them that's from 1812.
Wow. Okay.
It was used several different places, and one of them was the Tsar's castle.
Wow.
In Russia in the 18th century. That's where it came from, was Russia. It has all this Russian writing on the back of it, German, French. I've discovered that the spirit dice it's a smaller portal. It's less likely for something evil to come through. With a Ouija board, when you use the planchette, the circle. Wait a minute, what is this? Anyways, wow, that's horrible. Let me turn this down again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I just don't want it to echo. It's so loud.
Yeah.
With the planchette, the eye in the middle is what opens the portal, and that's what opens it up wide for evil things to come through. With the spirit dice, that's physically impossible. There is no eye for them to travel through.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, and you know what? It's funny because as a child we played with Ouija boards. Not really, we didn't really know at the time, right? I didn't come from a coven, or really. A lot of the stuff that I've done in my life has been self-taught, and then finally found people to support me through my journey. But I felt the energy of that right away, and I didn't want to play with it at all. I was like, no, I can you could just feel it.
You're sensitive.
And then
you have clairvoyance is the word. You're clairvoyant.
Yeah, and
if you were able to feel that bad mojo from that Ouija board at a young age, and you were like, oh hell no, you're an extremely what I call a level 5 clairvoyant.
Okay. Cool.
Which means you have a bullshit meter.
Oh, for sure.
Somebody comes to you with a story, you can tell whether or not it's real or bullshit.
Yes, clairvoyance for sure. And I always said I could feel an energy, I don't, so for me, my gifts aren't, like, I don't speak with the dead, or I don't get messages from, I've only had one maybe spirit kind of connect with me once, and that was it. But beyond that, it's more energy that I feel. Like I can go into a location and feel something's off, something's not right. There's an eerie feeling. I don't want to be here. I'm out of here. Those types of things. So I guess that would be clairvoyance. Yes. Is that what you call that?
Now the question I have for you is, do you feel the good as well when you walk into a place and go, oh, okay, yeah, this place is cool?
Yep.
Okay. That is clairvoyance.
Cool. Well, I have clairvoyance.
It is a very, it's a very undesirable gift. I'll be honest with you. I have the gift of what's called past eyes, which means I can tell you things that have happened in your past that I should not know.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And that's an extremely uncomfortable gift as well.
Sure. My sister has that. She just knows.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable, especially when you get in a group of people that you don't know.
Yeah.
I actually took a pedophile out, and I didn't even know I didn't know this guy from Adam. I went to a family reunion with a friend. He was a friend of a family member. He happened to brush by me. And oh my God, I just saw all of it. And I blurted it out. I went, oh my God, you raped John. Just like that. And I turned and looked at him. And his mother happened to be standing right next to him. And she turns to me and goes, how do you know what my son's name is? I don't even know you. I said, keep him away from your son. And then little John came around the corner and I looked at him and I said, he been messing with you? And he just started crying.
Wow.
The police were called. The dude was arrested. It was the most unbelievable situation I've ever been in.
Wow.
And the whole family was terrified of me, completely terrified. They did not want me near them. They did not want me touching them because I only brushed shoulders with this guy.
Wow. Wow.
And at that point in my life, in my 20s, my gifts were at their peak. So I could look at somebody and know whether or not they were a good or bad person.
Yes. And see that I can feel that. I mean, I've been able to, so a couple of things I've been able to feel, we were in Chicago, we were riding on the train and I could instantly feel this guy was trying to rob us. And he was talking to us. I don't know, the diagnosed in this, like I say, the diagnosis in this 3-dimensional time space would be, he was a sociopath or a psychopath type of personality. And I could just see it right in his face. I was like, this guy, and I text my mom. I was like, you need to put your stuff away, put it here. You need to do this, do that. Don't let, and I had to tell her kind of what to do first, because some people are just not, they're not aware. They're not awake. They're not. And that's why they fall victim to this stuff, because they don't, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're just not paying attention or if maybe it's not their.
I really like the way you put that. They're not awake. That is genius.
So I'm like, come on, aren't you paying attention to what's happening around you?
It's the clairvoyance in you. One of your relatives, whether it's your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, one of your relatives had this gift. And they had it to the point where these kids were getting in trouble for shit they didn't even do yet.
Yeah. Yep.
And I believe it was your grandfather. Honestly, I keep seeing a male deity, whether it was your father or your grandfather. I think it was either your father or your grandfather, because you kids were getting in trouble for shit you hadn't even thought of yet.
Yeah.
You particularly, you got into trouble one time. You came home from school. Nothing was wrong. You walked through the door and got your ass whooped or grounded, one of the two, for something you didn't even do yet.
I would say that my father would be the person, if anything, because
I knew it.
Yeah, my dad's really he's a really intelligent guy, and he knows, he knows.
He knows, all right.
Yeah, he does.
More than he's letting on, trust me.
Oh, I know. And he lectures, and even till this day, I'm like, okay, Dad, come on.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen your father just sitting there listening? You walk around the corner and he's just sitting there, just contently listening, like really hard.
I don't know if I've seen it. Yeah, I guess so.
He's hearing voices of the dead. He's talking to them. Mm-hmm. And you never knew that. Your father has the capabilities to talk to the dead physically. Like, hey, how you doing? And they'd answer him.
Well, and that's, it's funny because, like, I think my sister and I have thought about that. We're like, is Dad, because there's something there he's not letting on. And I think he's tried to suppress it, kind of just like not say anything. And so it's made some interesting.
Nowadays, he's just like, F it. He just lets it flow. He's older. He's learned to control it. It's like his little dark secret. He's never told his wife.
So he's not, and my father's not married. He stood alone for the rest of his life after my mother. So he's been single his whole life after my mom.
Did your mom pass?
No, my mom's here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he never told her. Not once.
No, I don't think he's told anybody. And we've been trying to figure out the mystery of him because he's an interesting fellow, that guy.
Well, I think we should take a moment here to welcome in Cashford and Pormo, Jovly, Allie Bear. Hello and welcome to Spirit and Coffee.
Thank you for doing that. I love that. Let's see what Poetic is giving us first. So tell me about this. And then I appreciate that you said I had clairvoyance and all that. And really looking into that because I'm still getting to know myself, right? I'm uncovering, discovering all that good stuff.
Did you just buy a house?
Huh?
Did you just buy a house?
No, but I'm wanting to.
When you do,
Yeah.
You're going to. I was just sitting here, listening to you talk. I see a 2-story white house.
Okay.
In the basement. Pay attention to the basement when you get into this house and you finally move in. There's a room back there.
Uh-huh.
A room that's not on the blueprints.
Okay.
There's something in there, something worth money.
Okay.
Something that the previous owners who originally built the house put there.
Okay.
It has to do with Jewish. It has to do with the Nazis.
Okay.
The room, it looks like a wall, but it's not. It's a door.
All right.
So when you get into this house, which is going to happen in the next 2 years,
okay.
It will. I guarantee it. Pay attention to the basement.
Okay.
And the attic. In your attic, you're going to have beams above you, like that support the roof.
Yeah.
Check them. Check the top of the beams.
Okay. Okay.
The instant you said you wanted a house, or you talked about a house, or somehow or another we got on the subject of the house. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a house in 2 years, and you're going to find something that hasn't seen the light of the day since the 20s or the early 1900s.
Okay. Do you have any idea what it's for, what it is?
I know one of them is long and it's wrapped in paper and it's an oriental rug.
Oh, okay.
There's a crate. I can see the room in my head. I can see it clear as day. It's a room probably about the size of a small bathroom.
Okay.
There's 2 crates in there. One of them has the Nazi symbol on it.
Okay.
And there's stuff in there. The guy fought in the war.
Okay.
Against the Nazis.
Okay.
I believe it's armbands, knives, a helmet. It's something else, but I want to say it's a belt. But they're perfect. I mean, like they were just taken out of the package and handed to the soldier.
Okay.
And it's really strange. The other crate, I have no idea what's in it. I just keep seeing dark.
Okay.
Be careful of the second crate. Okay. Usually if my foresight can't see beyond it, it's something dark.
Okay.
Whatever's in the second crate, oh shit, it's a divot box. Do not open it.
Okay.
You're going to find a little wooden box covered in wax.
Uh-huh.
Don't open it.
Okay.
Don't throw it away either.
Okay.
Take it to the museum.
Okay.
Just hand it to the guy and say, I don't want this, and walk away. Don't even give him a chance to respond. Just make it somebody else's problem.
Okay.
Immediately.
Okay.
Bad juju.
Okay.
If you don't know what a divot box is, they're Jewish demons held inside a box by a high priest of the Jewish religion. I'm not sure what they call them. I can't remember at this point. And it's going to be covered in several different layers of wax. Don't open it.
Okay.
Bad juju.
Bad juju.
But the house itself is gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. The one room that you're going to love the most is the dining room because it has marble floors.
Ooh, I like that.
Uh-huh. It's like a black white with a little bit of green in it. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And you're going to love the bay windows in the back, the sliding bay windows.
Yay. Well, I love that. I know that my friend who did my reading, because I asked about that, I asked about, a house and stuff like that, but she was like, yeah, it's going to happen fast.
2 years.
Yeah. She said, yeah. And for that, that's fast. For buying a house, that's actually fast.
You're going to come into some money. I'm not sure how, whether you're writing a book or you have an invention of some sort. You have something that the world needs. They just don't know it yet. It's kind of like that Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
You know how nobody knew they needed it until they needed it? One of those situations.
That's the story of my life. You know how it is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
No, it is, Alfie. It's hard because people are so afraid of, we've been covered up and killed and murdered and all this stuff. And so everybody's very afraid of these types of talks. They get a little afraid. And
have you ever had a tarot reading?
Oh, I read tarot as well. I read, and then and I have a beautiful a reader that I go to. I love her. She's very practical. That's what I love about her. She's very
accurate
and very accurate.
It's not her. Now let me defy this for you.
You're right.
Is not accurate.
Yes.
Cards are.
Yes.
She's very much in tune, like with me and my cards. I have a deck from 1932, Gypsy Tarot, and then Wiccan.
That's so awesome.
I'm very much in tune with my cards. And anybody who's in this room who's had a reading from me, I think Poetic has.
Oh, nice.
They're extremely accurate.
Awesome.
I touch on subjects that I shouldn't even know about.
Sure. And I would love one if you're ever open to that with me. I would be very open to that. And yes, she is accurate, and you're right. She would say that it's about the cards and her connection to the cards, not her. But I've done a bunch of stuff. I've done hypnotherapy. I'm currently in a master's program for it's transformative and consciousness studies.
Very nice.
Yeah, we're doing going back into our lineage, and the shamanic class that I just took was about going back into our lineage and understanding that.
Have you met one of your past selves yet?
Two. Wait,
who aren't they?
I wouldn't say. Well, I don't know if they're past selves. I would say they're stellar selves, cosmic.
Oh no, I've actually met my past self.
Yeah,
the person who died before I became me.
Yeah, no, I haven't done any of that. I would say, and part of me feels like not part of me. I don't know that I've been here before. Feel this is my
first. Welcome to the studio.
Awesome. Thanks, Alfie. You're on point with this. My friend on Facebook. So I just want you to know I stream on Facebook Live. So Facebook Live is going to, so they're hearing our conversation.
Hello, Facebook Live, you lovely people.
So they're like, is this a psychic reading? Or somebody out here is like, is this I don't know. It's not a psychic reading. It's just Alfie wanted to join and then share some information. And that's what we do on Spirit and Coffee. We allow people to explore and talk and share. And so
I'll tell you what, when you're ready for a tarot reading, you just say ready. And I've got the cards already in hand.
Oh, okay. Well then, ready.
All right. Well, you give me a moment. I'm just contemplating here. I'm actually peeing. Shh, don't tell anybody.
This is the most. Now this will be the most vulnerable Spirit and Coffee I've had, doing a live tarot reading on live.
And with this is the most people I've ever read in front of.
Oh, well, interesting. So here we go, you guys. This is tarot. Now, if you guys don't know tarot, it's really what I call the alchemic process. people freak out. It's just information. You can call it a diagnostic. Some people kind of still uncomfortable with the tarot, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've had people stand up and walk right away from me, demanding to know how I know personal information.
So this is vulnerable, you guys, and I'm going to put it out here. Why? Because I'm willing to go.
Hold on, I'm just looking for the big book. I thought it was right here.
A little bit, though.
Oh, I know what I did with it because I'm a ding dong. Sorry, my blonde just came out.
Oops.
Ouch! Ouch! I just set it on my toe. Ow. That hurt. That was great.
All right, you guys, live tarot reading with Natalie. Natalie's life exposed completely.
Well, it's good to know your name is Natalie. Hello, Natalie. I'm James.
Hi, James. And it's funny because we're going to do this reading, and at the beginning I said I'm not perfect, so let's see. Just see.
Well, now I'm going to stop you right here. I'm going to give you an option.
Yes.
Gypsy Tarot or Wiccan. Now, there is a difference.
Sure.
The Wiccan Tarot is only going to tell me about your past.
Yeah.
Well, it does do past, present, and future, but I try to lean more towards past with the Wiccan because it's easier for me to open that door.
Okay.
With the Gypsy Tarot, I can give you past, present, and future.
Oh, yeah, let's do Gypsy. Right away when you said Gypsy, I'm like, yep.
Gypsy it is. Then we don't need the big book. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to shuffle these cards 4 times. North, south, east, and west.
Okay.
I am going to put the female deity, which is you,
okay,
right along with the male underneath you, because the male is under you,
okay,
in the middle.
Okay.
So you are set.
Okay.
So I'm going to shuffle these cards, and we'll get on with that.
Okay.
So tell me about yourself, but don't try to give me any information, like personal information, just like what's your favorite color? Just talk to me.
Favorite colors. I like black and purple.
So you used to be royalty.
Maybe. I don't think so. I black always my favorite color. Purple, more recent. Let's see what else. I love doing Spirit and Coffee. I love helping people, supporting people, find their spiritual path and be true to their authentic self and who they are. I love traveling. I love coffee.
Oh, I love coffee too. So thank you so much for talking to me. It just gives me the opportunity to get more in tune with you and the cards. They hear you.
Okay.
Whether it's psychically, spiritually, whatever, and they pick up on your vibe.
Okay.
The best way I can describe this to you is picture the earth in your mind, all of you. Okay. Now picture a spider web over one half of the earth and a spider web under the under half, and those two spider webs touch each other.
Okay.
On these spider webs, and everybody's like, oh, it's really sci-fi. What I don't care. This is the easiest way for me to explain it. Each of those spider webs drops a string. That string is attached to a person. Okay. I can, with my ability, reach up, grab the spider web, hold it, and it vibrates from me to you and gives me the information I need for the cards. Okay. So let's try this with your spider web and see how it works. Okay. Your first card is the cat, and it indicates flattery. It foretells a personal injury and donates strife if near 29, which it is not. The numbers are very important in this. Yes, absolutely. 30. No, you're good. So I'm going to null and void this card because it's not near anything that it's supposed to be. The only thing that you've got is that the cat indicates that you take flattery well, but you're just like, yeah, okay, fake ass person. Yep.
True.
Wine is the symbol of cheerfulness and joy. You're very joyful. You're a person who is, you from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, you're a very happy person unless somebody steps in your Cheerios.
Very good. Yes.
And then you're pissed. That's not a good situation. You know, that there are very few things in this world that piss you off. Liars, thieves, you know, things of that nature.
Yep.
The lilies forecast a happy life. They also signify a virtuous life. It indicates immortality. You are going to immortalize yourself somehow.
Oh.
When you're dead, people are going, like Christy McCullough immortalized herself by being blown up in the Challenger. You're going to immortalize yourself in a different fashion where people are going to remember you when you die.
Oh.
You're going to do something in your late 60s or 70s that is literally going to put you in the history books.
Oh. Oh. I could feel that.
So did I. Trust me, so did I. It was like a ball of energy just slammed into me, bounced off, and came right back to you.
Yep. Yep.
Hand in hand indicates a confining disposition. Friendships will warm into love. Favor will be found with superiors, and financial success. Once again, it talks about whatever venture it is you've got going on. I mentioned it earlier about how you're going to be able to buy a house in a couple of years. The cards are also indicating this financial success. You've got something going on that's going to make your wallet go cha-ching.
And hopefully serve humanity. That's the goal.
Well, let's see what the sun has to say about it. And I don't mean the sun as in this is my sun. I mean the sun in the sky.
Right.
It signifies happiness and popularity. And vexation.
Ooh, what's that? What's vexation?
Do
you know the word?
Hold on a minute. Computer, what does vexation mean?
Vexation is usually defined as the act of vexing, irritating. For more, ask me to give you more.
Irritating. Computer, stop. So vexating, you vexated me. You irritated me. You pissed me off.
Oh yeah.
So you need to watch for that. There's going to be somebody out there in your near future who is just going to irritate the shit out of you and rub you the wrong way. Avoid them like the plague.
Okay.
No man should ever rub another man's rhubarb the wrong way.
Oh no.
The tree, again, it speaks of good health, fulfillment of the highest hopes. Your highest hope is to buy a home.
Yes.
Again, it speaks of your fulfillment, your highest hopes. The train, the park. I don't know why I saw train. Foretells of a new love and false friends. You already know about this person.
Oh.
This is what's screwed up about it. You already know about this person, and you already know from your bullshit meter that they're full of shit.
Right.
But yet they still have this je ne sais quoi that you like about them. That causes you to deal with their stupidity, as it's put, and just go, and you're able to turn a blind eye to the bullshit and see the other side of them.
Okay.
So I call them frenemies.
Okay.
Be careful of frenemies.
Okay. I'll be careful.
Because they're looking at you with one hand and smiling, and with the other one they're stabbing you in the back.
Sure.
The ring. When to the right of the person is an unending indication of rich and happy marriage, but lying to the left, disappointment and love. Well, honey, it is to the right. And once again, it speaks of financial success, financial well-being.
Okay.
Which reverts all the way back to our original conversation about the house. Everything here has been surrounded by not only your bank account, but where you live.
Oh, I love that. It's going to make me cry.
You are going to be successful. There's no denying it. Whatever you do is going to benefit mankind and bring you into the history books. but it's also going to financially take care of your wallet, which gives you the opportunity to buy a home, which means you're going to find all those treasures hidden in the basement. Again, the circle of life. It comes all the way around. And this one's going to slap you right in the ass hard, but in a good way, because you've earned it. The universe is recognizing your hard work, recognizing your selfless attitude, recognizing the fact that you want man to be better. So they're going to reward you. Congratulations.
Oh, you just made me cry. Because you summed it up. It's coming from someone else's mouth. Do you see that?
And this is what I mean when I say that my cards are accurate. They don't just hit subjects of, oh, you're going to get money and, new cars. And it touches all subjects.
And the most beautiful thing that you said is that it circles back around that it's not about the money for me. It's about serving humanity.
Right. Whatever it is you're going to do is going to benefit man. And the word and your name, Natalie, right? Natalie?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was on the right path here because I've got other names shooting through my head. The word Natalie is going to go down in history. The name Natalie is going to become very popular after your death. There's going to be 100,000 Natalies running around.
Good.
So whatever it is you do is very strong. Your magic is strong.
Thank you.
And when I say magic, because it's magical that you're willing to put yourself basically in the line of fire for somebody else.
Yep.
You're like a CIA agent who's willing to take a bullet for the president, but you're willing to take a bullet for anybody. It doesn't matter. It could be the black guy, the little Asian old lady, the white dude with the bad haircut.
Yep. That's right.
In your eyes, nobody's ugly. Nobody's not beautiful. Everybody's equal in your eyes. You don't see skin color. You see soul.
That's right. Yep.
And that's one of the reasons you go down in history is because like Martin Luther King, like the old lady that refused to get off the bus, people are going to notice. And what's going to be really cool is when you are finally noticed, I'm going to be able to say, oh, I was on Podbean with her and gave her a tarot reading. I told her all about this.
Well, hopefully we'll stay connected. That's the beauty of all this, right?
Well, we will now because I just followed you.
We all stay connected. That's part of it. I love your analogy of the web because that goes back to some ancient cultures and native traditions where they talk about the spider mother who interweaved it, and we're all interconnected through this web. Mm-hmm. We all have that ability, right?
I believe that string is right at the base of our skulls.
Yes.
And it's invisible. We can't see it.
Right.
Well, all of us can't see it. Some of us can.
Right.
And it just follows us around. And like if one wire touches another, they just pass through each other so that we can walk by.
Yep.
They never intertwine unless we want them to.
It's like the quantum physics world, or the everything's interconnected and intertangled, and it's quite amazing. And thank you so much for that reading. That's all I want, is to be able to give back to humanity and serve humanity. That's why I do Spirit and Coffee. I've been doing it for like 3 years already. I'm like, come on, people. We have this amazing ability and potential. Every single individual in the world has this amazing gift.
Yes, but aren't you grateful that not everybody can use it? Because that would suck to have 100 million clairvoyants running around.
Well, I don't mean mine. I mean, everybody has a unique gift.
Absolutely. I'm just glad that everybody's not psychic. Well, no, let me rephrase it. Everybody has the opportunity or the capabilities of being psychic. Some
Right.
people in this world are just so ignorant and blocked off, and their eyes are so closed and they're asleep
Yes.
that they
Yes.
don't understand. Like you said, most people, they're awake.
Yeah.
Most people are asleep. And I call those the sleepers, the non-maggies, the
Yeah.
muggles.
The muggles. Which, by the way, I'm a Slytherin. There. That's me.
Believe it or not, I'm a Hufflepuff.
That's awesome. So, in the Harry Potter world, it's not only a Slytherin, maybe a puzzle tongue.
I think you are a parcel tongue, if you want me to be honest. A lot of your gifts are self-taught. That's what's great about it. There was nobody there to hold your hand like me and say, no. That's not the way we do it.
Mm-hmm.
You had to learn by making mistakes.
Yep.
You're what's known as a self-taught natural witch. You're the type of witch people don't want to fuck with. Because you're the type of witch that have come up with your own little curve, as it would be put, je ne sais quoi, to each spell, which makes you dangerous to other witches.
Oh. Ooh.
Because you are self-taught, because you are unnatural. It makes you dangerous.
I am self-taught. Very true. Kind of just floated in the world and had to figure it out for myself.
Stumbled through the dark without a candle.
Yeah, until I found it. And it's funny because I've been called a witch my whole life. Or people have asked me, "Are you a witch?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a witch."
And you've also been compared to Stevie Nicks on several occasions.
I have. That's interesting.
The White Witch of the music world.
Only when I sing sometimes, and then yes, there's been people who have said that.
And the reason they're saying that is because what you're singing, how you're singing it, how you're presenting it, it's like a spell.
Oh.
And you have spellbound your crowd, and that's why they come to you afterwards and say, Stevie Nicks? Because they recognize that in your soul to hers.
Aww.
It's kind of like a twin flame type deal.
Oh, twin flame. Aww. I love it. You're amazing. Thank you. Right.
You're amazing. You're the one that's getting the reading. I'm just the guy that's just projecting. That's all I'm doing is projecting what's being sent to me. I'm just a vessel, baby. I'm just a vessel compared to you.
Oh, I'm just a vessel too. I'm just a vessel too, and I'm receiving, your message, and I just appreciate you in so many ways.
And I knew that before I got on the phone. I knew that you were the type of person that you're not, oh, I'm not going to answer the phone to him. To hell with him. He looks fucked up. You're the type of person that's going to be like, hey, yeah, who are you?
I've dealt with everybody on here. Like I tell people, this is a place for everyone. It's you. There's not. I've even had I've answered the call to trolls, or they were trolling my stuff, and at the end they laughed. We had a good laugh, and we started talking, and the guy was like, at the end of it, he's like, well, this is brilliant. He's like, because they wanted to trigger me. And I'm like, I'm not going to be triggered because it's not about me. This is about you and your life and what you're up to and sharing your gifts. And
and that's the great thing about you is that you're able to unarm people. You're able to take that bullet out of their gun like I do. Because people call me faggot all the time because I'm gay. So I've heard it my entire life. Faggot, queer, rump roast, pole smoker, you name it. I've heard it. When they come up with something new, I'll give them respect. But until then, they get none. So you're able to take the bullets out of their gun, which is what I do by calling myself a fag before they can. I take the bullets away from them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always saying I'm the biggest homo I know. Even Alexa, I can ask Alexa if there's a house fire. She says, no, just a flaming homosexual.
And you know what? Society, and I don't know when you were, what era you were raised in, but
the 80s.
Oh yeah, then that's my uncle. One of my uncles passed away from HIV/AIDS during that time, and he was a homosexual, and he and his friends and stuff like that. And God, I loved him. He was my favorite.
I was just gonna say he was your favorite.
He was my favorite uncle. I love my Uncle Richard. God bless his soul. And he was the most precious. And actually, that was his name, Precious. That's what they called him in the community.
Wait a minute. Really tall, super skinny, had big teeth, almost a bowl cut haircut.
Yeah, he was.
Honey, I've got a picture of your brother, of your uncle. I believe Richard was the gay friend of my mother in Claremont, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah.
I swear to Christ, I've got a picture of what I believe to be your uncle. And the more you were talking, the more I went, are you fucking kidding me? He's got the bowls like the 80s feather hairdo with a rose behind his ear, and he had this huge Mick Jagger smile with big teeth.
So I don't know, maybe he might have traveled there. I don't know. Maybe it is him. They called him Precious.
Uh-huh. And I have a picture of this man, and when I find it, I'm going to put it on Facebook. You and I need to connect on Facebook. I need to find this picture. This is a head trip. Because on the back of it, it says Richard, a.k.a. Precious.
Really?
And I always wondered who the fuck Richard was. I remember him. I do remember him as a kid, but I was really young. I remember him being very flamboyant, very, ta-da, I'm here. He is the reason, he's one of the reasons I have such flamboyancy.
Yeah, so my Uncle Richard was very, back
flamboyant.
Yeah, it was very taboo. I mean,
if he was able to run around and sprinkle glitter on people, he would.
Yes, and he was a perfectionist.
Yes, his clothes, everything about him had to be perfect before he walked out of the house.
Yeah.
His shoes had to be tied a certain way. His clothes had to be ironed. He was very neat.
Yes, and the Christmas tree had to be perfect. He did the Christmas tree every year. And
he was meticulous about it.
Oh God, he spent 500 hours on the tree.
Wow. I'm wondering if this is the same guy.
And then he'd give me those chocolate cherry covered cherries every Christmas. That was
the Cordells.
Yes, that was his gift to me always because I loved them so much.
Wow, I'm wondering if this is the same person. I mean, where, not to be information hog, but where are you from?
I live in New Mexico.
Have you always lived in New Mexico?
Yeah.
He hasn't. Right?
He what?
He didn't live in New Mexico. He lived in like Connecticut or Massachusetts.
No, he didn't. He lived in New Mexico.
He did live in New Mexico. Okay. I'm wondering if this is the same person or not. I mean, I'm really curious. Does the description match him?
I mean, yeah, he was really thin, a little taller.
He was tall and lanky.
Yeah, he was real thin.
Very well kept.
Real thin.
You knew he was homosexual from the moment you spoke to him.
So here's the deal. I knew my uncle, so it was hidden in the family, but I knew because I've always known. I just know stuff. And then when he got HIV, I knew he had it before anybody told us. I knew it. I just knew it as soon as he was sick. Nobody said anything, and I knew. I was like, he has HIV. I know. And then back then they didn't have cures and stuff, so he ended up passing away. And he, back then it was very taboo. No one talked about it, and I loved him so much, and I just didn't understand how people could be so cruel. That was my big thing, and still to this day, like you were telling me, when people call you names and stuff, to me that makes me want to cry, because it's like,
Oh, you can say it. It's okay. I'm used to it.
how can people be so just cruel to
And how sad is it that somebody has to get used to a word like faggot?
I know. And it's to me, it's like, God, can't we just love each other? Like, what the hell is wrong with people? So I get very emotional, and yes, I've always I accept everyone is basically what I'm saying.
Yes, you do.
And I love going to the gay clubs, and I do all that. That's me. And I want to dress in drag one day. I have I have this story, this dream where somebody dresses me up in and I'm overly, feminine, and I want drag queens to dress me up. That's what I want. That's a dream I have. So, and I just don't understand how people can be so cruel. That's my whole thing. People need to understand that we're all in this together. We all suffer together. Everybody has identity crisis. And if we can just learn to love one another and accept that we're all going through suffering together, I think we'd have a lot more compassion for one another.
Well, if people would just figure out the fact that we all put our pants on the same way and we all bleed red, I think the world would be a better place.
I know.
It doesn't matter your skin color. What's inside, it's still red. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Amen. So I get the identity crisis part of things, because I myself have always been. I've had identity crisis in some ways, because I'm a woman. I love men, and but I've never been very feminine, like very like now. I mean, I'm kind of girly, but when growing up, I wasn't. I was very like.
You were a tomboy. It was the freaking 80s. It was the thing to do.
Yes,
you were either super with the Aquanet hairspray up your, halfway up your head, or you were a tomboy. It was one of the two. You were either Madonna or you were Jodie Foster from the Berenstain Bears, or that fucking baseball movie there. Am I wrong? You were either Madonna or Jodie Foster. Take your pick.
Oh my God. Yes, I was a tomboy growing up. And it just drove my mother crazy. She wanted me to be a Barbie doll. And I'm like, I'm not like that. It's not me.
You were Jodie Foster.
And so I wanted to, yeah, exactly. And I wanted to, and I was always with the boys, and I was, that was me.
Playing in the dirt, playing with toys, playing with trucks.
Yeah.
And so you didn't own a Barbie growing up. And the ones that you did, you blew up.
Yeah, I didn't want them. I wanted Transformers.
Yes, but the Barbies you had were the ones that got run over by the cars. You cut their hair.
Oh, God.
You did some evil shit to those Barbies.
So, it was not accepted back then, of course, right? Because it was like, oh, no, you should be girly. You should be this. And I'm like, that's not me.
No, it was accepted because we had the tomboys, and sometimes the tomboys were sexier than the Madonnas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, personally, there's nothing sexier than a woman that drives a truck, shines her shotgun, and spits on the sidewalk and smiles at you.
I just think it's so funny. And then, but part of me, so the identity that I was talking about, and the identity maybe, and I don't know if it's identity crisis, but the identity was the fact that the internal essence of my feminine is a drag queen. Like, it's that over exaggeration.
Drag king.
No, I want to be a queen, okay? A queen, not a king.
Oh, so you want to dress up like an actual drag queen.
Exactly. So,
well, that's easy enough to do. I'll make a trip to New Mexico. I'll bring my box of goodies and I'll dress you up.
Oh, yay! I would love it. And then we could have a show.
I have this fabulous dress you'd look amazing in. White, sleek, kind of like Marilyn Monroe
Oh,
with the
yeah.
sequins. Put
Okay.
you underneath a grate, let it blow up. You hold it down. We take your picture.
Oh my God, I would love that. See, so my internal feminine is over exaggerated. Like that's how I see it. It's like the divine feminine that's over, like she's just
Over the top. And I'd like to take this moment to welcome in metal, scrap metal, and just us.
Yeah.
Alvin, welcome to the studio. Spirit and coffee.
And that, so there you go. That's funny because it's like that identity between the two, and I've always understood it, and that's why the gay community was so important to me growing up, just super important to me, because it was like a lot of these individuals couldn't express their identity and be
And the ones that did paid for it.
They paid for it, and they paved the way for the people today. And I remember going into some of the gay nightclubs and just the cruelty of some people. Now,
Well, everybody says RuPaul, he made the way for the gay community. Well, I'm sorry. I have to argue that bullshit because in 1967, there was a lovely man named Glenn who came out, who became I Am Divine. Divine was the first person to step out of the gay community like she did and blow the walls and hinges and doors off of her closet by walking down the drag of New York City while being filmed, having the natural reaction of New Yorkers looking at her like, what in the fuck is that? And loving every minute of it. If you've never seen the documentary, I Am Divine.
I Am Divine. Ooh, okay. So there you go for individuals that are interested. I'll watch it.
Absolutely amazing.
Okay. Good morning.
What he goes through is insane. He's trying to become famous. And I'm not going to say what show he goes on, but he does end up getting on a show. And the sad part of the whole thing was the night before filming, he died.
Natural or what
Natural.
happened? Okay.
And that's all I'm going to say about I Am Divine. You need to see this movie for yourself. Have you ever heard of the movie Pink Flamingos?
No. Okay. So
really? You don't want to see it.
Oh, okay.
And it was labeled in 1970 as the world's grossest movie ever made. It will make you puke.
Okay, then no.
I've watched it.
Okay.
And there's only one scene that'll make you puke. The rest of it is just it's a bunch of people getting together and making a home movie that just happened to become very fucking popular.
Okay.
And there's only one scene that is super disgusting, and I'm going to say when they bring the dog out, walk out of the room.
Okay.
That's all I can say about that.
Okay.
But for those of you who are listening who have just joined us, I Am Divine. It's on Netflix.
I even love that name. I Am Divine.
Her name is Divine. The name of the movie is I Am Divine.
Okay.
She was given the name Divine by John. What the fuck was his name? I'm so ashamed that I can't remember his name. I know it's John.
Okay.
After he did his first home movie, because this guy wanted to be a director-producer. Divine wanted to be an actress.
Okay. I Am Divine.
She put her name in for Love Boat, Three's Company, Married with Children, Alf, Cheers. She had her name in 7 different syndicate shows. Only one of them chose her. Okay. And it's one of the most amazing documentaries I've ever seen. As far as the gay community is concerned, what this person went through, what they did for the gay community, I'm surprised there's not a 7-foot statue of her somewhere.
Wow. And that may happen, right? Eventually.
If more people would watch, you remember, everybody remembers seeing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I put it right up there with Rocky Horror.
Okay.
That's how good it is. It's just a life story of Glenn. And I wish I could remember you. Wait a minute. Computer, what was Divine's full name?
I'm sorry I didn't get that.
Oh, you're a
Sounds
bitch.
like you're asking about
No. Computer, who wrote the movie Pink Flamingos?
I'm sorry I didn't get that.
Computer, stop.
Sounds like you're asking.
She is being a difficult bitch today. Oh, she is just being so argumentative. She told me to shut up earlier. I was like, who the hell do you think you're talking to? She's like, I'm talking to you. Mouthy little twit. She told me off at 7:30 this morning. I wanted to poke her in the eye if she had one.
Oh my God.
She told me to go lay down next to my water dish the other day. I said, excuse me? What the hell did you just say to me? She's lippy.
Lord. No, gosh.
And I think one of my friends is connected to my Alexa because every once in a while she just says random shit to me.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. When your computer talks back.
Yeah, that's the understatement.
Oh my gosh. So I am Divine. I've got to get going. But so Facebook friends, I'm gonna let you go. I'll stay on Podbean. So just hold on, Alfie, for a second, because I'm gonna get your information in chat just a second longer. So have a great day. Those on Facebook, kind of a long one. Love you guys. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. So I just ended the Facebook live, but I would I would love to connect with you on Facebook. I can do that right now. I don't think you want to send it to everybody. So do you want to send?
I don't care.
Oh,
what
you
am I
don't.
going to do? Follow me on Facebook?
No. Okay. So what are you under?
Right there, James Hodgson. Hello, Barian. How are you?
James, how do you spell HO?
DGDON. Hodgson. That's me. Let me look to make sure I'm giving you the right name because I'm a damn blonde. And it could be Jamie for all I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Jamie. Jamie.
Jamie.
That's me. Jamie Hodgson on Facebook. Same picture as here. Me with my dog.
Okay.
You can't miss me. Me and my crazy ass Facebook.
Watch.
Oh my God, I totally need to do my nails today. They look like shit. I got this one pinky nail that's like violent. I've really got to take care of it because it's like super sharp. And I wasn't paying attention yesterday, and my hiney itched. So I reached back and scratched it. And I cut myself with this nails. Now I got this little cut on my bum, and it hurts like hell.
Oh, Hodge. It's not coming up.
HODGDON.
DON. That's what they put. Oh, there you go. Got it.
There I am.
Yay.
I think I just put a cigarette out. What the hell am I doing?
Awesome.
I'm almost positive. Okay, so I'm going to get a friend's request here in a moment.
Yes.
So let's go boom. Boom, shakalaka laka boom. Oop, no, I did not want to look at the lowest picture. Thank you. Oh, look. Confirm. Ta-da!
There we go. Now we're friends.
Yes, we are.
And then you can send me a picture. And I don't know, maybe it is medical, maybe it's not, but it doesn't matter. They're both
I got to find that. That's right. I got to do that. That's today. No, it wouldn't be in that one, but I bet you it might be in the other one. Da-da-da-da.
They'll both be honored either way.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what's
I almost dropped the whole thing. There's my grandparents. Let's see if Richard's in here. My baby girl. My ugly ass brother. Scary little fucker. Me as a scary baby. School picture, my grandparents, that man hated my guts. My brother, he looks like a taxi cab going down the street with the door open. His ears are so big. Let's see if I can find that picture. Unless I gave it to Margaret, which probably, she probably suckered me out of it. No, that's not him. That's Tits McGee, as my mother very passionately called her, Lisa Tits McGee. She's like 4'11" with size E tits. This woman had the biggest boobs I've ever seen.
Oh,
She
yeah.
had to have surgery. She had to go from a double E to a D, or a double E to a C. They had to do surgery because she literally would fall forward.
Oh shit. I'm pretty busty myself.
My niece was a triple E who went to a B.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it's not in this book, so I'll have to look at the other one. But I know I have it, and when I find it, I will post it on Facebook and tag you.
Okay.
Because you're the only Natalie in my friends list.
Perfecto.
You know, when I hear Natalie, you know what I think of? Who is this? Who the fuck are you? Peter Wade. Who the hell is Peter Wade? And why the hell are you texting me? I don't know you. He said, wow, ballsy. Seriously. I mean, he just texted me. Now, I have my medical marijuana license, so I go to the dispensary to get my weed. This guy's like $25 an eight, Purple Passion. I don't even know you, motherfucker. I ain't buying shit from you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It happens all the time. I get random drug dealers texting me, hey, you want some pot? Nope, not from you. I don't even know you.
Jesus.
I'll go to the dispensary first. Thank you very much.
Yeah, where you know it's safe and you know the people.
Yeah. And they're really good to me there. Like, I went to Gay Pride and got them randomly. I got them a large flag because they were only like $10. And I picked up, I thought I bought 3. The guy gave me 6 instead of 3.
Oh.
And I couldn't get back to him because he'd already packed up and left because he had sold everything.
Oh, shoot.
So there was no me giving back 3 of them, like, hello, you screwed yourself. So I tried to talk to his sister, and she was like, just take him home. I was like, okay. So I gave one to the dispensary, which is hanging in the factory where they, dispense the weed and break it up and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
So they made me with their kelm. It's a it's a marijuana leaf with the Gay Pride colors in it.
Oh, cool.
And it was just something unique that I hang in my window. It shoots colors into the room.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't expect them to make. They literally made it with a cookie cutter. They just used the cookie cutter, and that's how they got the design.
Oh, well, that was smart.
It's a window. We used to make them like the Shrinky Dinks back in the day, where you made the things with the glass and you melted it.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, those. That's what it is.
Oh, ooh, that's pretty. That sounds pretty. Yeah.
So I'll take a picture of it and put it on Facebook so you can see it because it's really cool.
Ooh, that sounds pretty.
Oh, and I'll take a picture of those tarot cards so you can see the ones that you were read from too.
Yes, that would be awesome. That would be so.
Because I've got them in their original case, and it says right on the front, Gypsy Witch Fortune Telling Playing Cards.
I love that. Gypsy.
And there's a date on here somewhere. It's like 1932 or something.
Wow.
I got these. Now, I love the story of these Gypsy Tarot cards. I yard sale and I flea market a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I love other people's shit. I went to a yard sale where it was a wagon. Like, literally, they were living in the wagon. And they were having a yard sale. And they were gypsies. I mean, that's the only way to describe them, is they were freaking gypsies. And they were at their relatives, and they were living in the wagon. And, they'd go in the house and do whatever, but they were living in the wagon. And they decided to empty out the bottom half and the inside of their wagon out so they make more room. So I went to the yard sale, and I bought a mortar and pestle. And I noticed the tarot cards.
Uh-huh.
And nobody else all day had looked at them sideways, according to the little old lady that was sitting there taking the money. And I immediately was drawn to them. And I reached right over everything very carefully because there was some lead crystal and all kinds of shit on this table, like really expensive stuff. And I literally reached over everything and I go to pick the cards up. The old lady, she's the fastest old lady I've ever seen. She snatched those cards right off the table. I didn't think they were for sale. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I put my hands up. She says to me, come here. So I walk around the table and she takes me by my hand and she puts her thumb in the middle of my palm and she holds it there for a minute. She goes, okay. And she takes her index finger and she puts it behind my ear and she holds it there. Then she grabs my earlobe. She hands me the tarot card, says, no charge. I was told to give them to you.
Wow.
I just stood there. Everything, I went cold. Goosebumps, the whole 9 yards. I just went cold.
Wow.
And I'm just staring at her. And she's still holding my earlobe. And she looks up at me and she says, your firstborn will be a girl. And she let go. My firstborn was a girl. Her name is Fonda Lee.
Wow.
That's why I got so deeply into the tarot cards, was because of that little old lady and the look in her eye.
Wow, that's awesome.
She blew my mind.
That is so awesome. What a story.
Was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, for her, I still don't understand the thumb in the palm and the index finger behind the ear and the grabbing of the earlobe. I don't get it. I've asked a few other gypsies about it, and they said that's old. And I mean, like, what do you mean it's old? They're like, well, we're not exactly sure because we weren't taught it, but we know that it's something the older generation does. It's kind of like a bullshitter test.
Oh.
I was like, really? She's like, yeah, why? And I handed her the tarot cards. She offered me $500. I told her no.
Wow.
Her husband offered me $7. I told him no.
Yeah, they're yours. They were
given to me by an elder, something that's extremely rare in the gypsy culture from what I understand. Usually it's inherited once they die. They normally don't give things away.
Wow.
Gypsies are all about profit. They're all about money. How much money can I make? You know, I made this much money by doing this many tarot readings.
Right.
So I need to do this many today in order to make this.
Right.
You know, they're all about finances. They're all about, not all about, they're very spiritual people. They're very in tune with a lot of things, including the universe. They're kind of like pagans with a flair to them.
That's so cool. I just think that that's amazing that you have that story and that you followed through on reading cards after that.
25 years now. I'm 47, so.
Oh wow! So this
I started when I was 15, so that's longer than 25 years. I started when I was 15.
Wow.
I'm 47 now, so that's 37 years.
That's so awesome. What a story. And that's how it's gifted. That's how it happens, right?
27 years, yeah.
These things just get handed to us and we don't even know why. It's just part of our story, part of who we are.
And now, exactly, it's part of who I am. It's what I am. You know, when the family has a spiritual problem, Aunt Nancy's dead. You know, my mother's gone. My mother was murdered by her own granddaughter. No evidence, no proof. My brother had her cremated the next day. You know, it was a really bad situation. And with her being gone, I stepped into that mantle because I promised her I would. You know, her and I had this conversation about her demise. Right. She knew before she was murdered that she was going to be murdered. She told me that many times. I'm going to be murdered. I'm like, Mom, what the hell are you talking about? Nobody's going to murder you. No, I'm going to be murdered by somebody we know. She used to say it all the time.
Wow.
It's like Lady Gaga coming out with that song "Just Dance."
Uh-huh.
It'll be okay. Bada boop boop. Just dance. Well,
Yeah.
my mother, when we go to the bar, my mother would take me to bars. I had no idea where the fuck we were, and I have this talent to dance.
Yeah.
I can draw a crowd in on that dance floor just by my energy, and she knows it. So
Right.
she would take me to these local bars that she knew of and just dance. It'll be okay. Just dance. And that's what she would say to me. And then 15 years later, Gaga comes out with the song, It'll Be Okay, Just Dance. I actually wrote Lady Gaga and told her that because my mother has told me this for years. Just shut up and dance. It'll be okay. Just dance. And then this song comes out. It blew my mind.
At some bar.
Yep, mom would take me to random bars. I had a woman tell my mother one time he's got more moves than Jello.
Oh, that's awesome. You're a dancing, are you a dancing queen?
I am a dancing fool. I get a couple drinks into me and look out. I only drink like 2-3 drinks because I'm a teetotaler. You know, sniff of the cap and I'm half hammered and giggling at everything. So, yeah, I'm a dancing queen, a dancing fool.
Awesome. So am I. That's beautiful.
I just let go. I don't even pay attention. I don't listen to what anybody else is saying but my partner. I can follow you step for step, and I don't even know your dance steps. You only have to do it one time for me to be able to catch on and follow you step for step.
That's so, it's motion and vibes.
Yeah, it's all about motion with me. As long as I can follow you. My Aunt Judy, I used to blow her mind because she would come up with every weekend, she'd try to come up with a new dance. She'd spend all week working on a new dance. She wouldn't let me nowhere near her. And then come Friday night, we'd go to the Red Moon Saloon, and I'd follow her step for step. And it used to freak her out. How the hell do you do that? Excuse me for a minute. My dog's barking at the shadows that walk by our house all the time. We have ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I just picked up an SB7 spirit box and I turned it on and it started talking away and wouldn't shut up.
Oh, shoot.
We ask a question and she'd answer us 10 ways to fucking Sunday. It was like she had a shopping list. It's crazy.
I know it is. So I have to get going.
So soon?
I know, so soon. I do. I actually have adult life. Ugh, work.
Yeah, me too. It sucks. I gotta go. I'm looking at my unmade bed going, fuck, I gotta make it.
I know. But you know what? I just, again, want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. I honor you. And thank you for trusting me and doing my reading and opening up and sharing with everybody your gifts. And I look forward to the information you're going to send to me, and definitely excited about the future. And I'm excited to have you on here. So I just honor you and I want to thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate you allowing me to be your co-host. This is what I do. I go around to different podcasts and I co-host the show out of nowhere. I just become the insta co-host.
I love it.
Just like add water. There he is. Poof. Look, co-host.
And I love it. I love that you co-hosted with me and your energy. And thank you so much for gracing us with your energy today. And I look forward to seeing you on here again.
Well, I just say to you, my friend, blessed be, and just remember that wisdom is the key, and with that key, you can unlock any door.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You guys have a great day. I am going to go open Elfie's Tarot House and tarot readings and chat house. So you guys all have a wonderful day, and if she's closing, if you desire to follow me over, that's where I'll be. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Thanks, Alfie, for that beautiful reading. And yes, go follow. Hey, Linga, how are you? If you are wanting a reading like she said, go, you can follow her and maybe she can give you a reading. Linga gave me a reading at one point. That was a beautiful reading. And it's all pointing to one thing. And the one thing that I want to say is it all comes back around. Everything that we do circles back around. There are times that we don't understand we don't know the consequences of what we're doing. And there's times that we don't really, truly, we don't know. We make a decision and we don't know what the ripple effects are going to be. So when you do things with a good intention and a good heart, and you continue on that journey, eventually the blessings start to come through because your heart is in the right place. Your intention is in the right place. And it all circles back around. And so the reading that I got was beautiful and telling of the energy that I want to put into the universe, right? Which is love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, and remembering that we're all together in it. And if I can keep bringing people back to that understanding that it doesn't matter because there's light, dark, right, wrong, good, bad that we experience in this three-dimensional time space, but it's all us and we're in it together. And also, one last thing was talking about, yes, you're going to have material wealth and stuff. So I am a what they call a Taurus, which is a pinnacle sign, which is an earth sign. And so money and stuff like that, always circulating, the abundance, all that kind of stuff. But it's not about that for me. What it's about is being able to have a safe space that I can do this work in. So my prayers are not for material wealth. Okay. My prayers are to have a safe space so that I can do the work, so I can do God's work, so I can do the universal work, so I can do the great work, as they call it in alchemy, right? Alchemy. And to be able to do that and to be able to connect in and to be able to say, God, give me the resources, universe, creator, give me the resources so that I can do your work. Because that's what it's about. It's about giving back. It's about serving humanity. It's about tapping into the consciousness. And yes, Linga, like you said, the healing is about healing the consciousness, my unconsciousness, my subconscious, my however you want to describe it, but healing that and then supporting humanity in the healing as well. And so my healing is going good, actually. Thank you for asking, Linga. It's been amazing, and the journey's been amazing. And yes, I would, love to have people continue to come on here. I just had Alfie, totally open to having Alfie co-host again. Linga, you're always welcome to come co-host with me. Poetic, welcome to come co-host with me. I don't know if she's on here still, but you guys are all welcome to come and be a part of the journey, right? If you didn't feel like you have had a home, you do have a home here. And that's what Spirit and Coffee is. It's a home. There's nothing too much, too great, too crazy to talk about on here. There are things that will shock other people, but that's fine. It's not going to shock me because guess what? We're in it together. Okay. Watch out. So there you have it. Thanks, Linga. I just love you guys so much. I just want you to know that. And yes, the healing is happening and it's all good. And so I love you guys. Have a fantastic Monday. I will be on tomorrow. 2 a.m. here. Oh my God. I know, Linga, it's always so early in the morning for you. And I thought about one more thing. I thought about like when you were like, man, there's places in Australia I've been and stuff. And you wouldn't, imagine and stuff. Well, maybe I'll take a trip out there. Maybe one day I'll take a trip. I have some friends out there in Australia as well. But maybe I'll take a trip out there and maybe we could meet up and you can take me on a pilgrimage or something like that. I wouldn't mind going on a little pilgrimage around and learning the history and the wonders of the world out there, and what that might have to offer. So, I'm I'm my spare 10 minutes. I might spare 10 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you could take me on a pilgrimage, Binga. I'm gonna make you. I'm just kidding. You have to. You're required by the right of cosmic order and law. Just kidding. You have to. I will become your apprentice out there. Um, funny. We can do something. Yeah. So perhaps I could, go out there or whatever, and that would be nice. Just to check it out. I'd love to travel and learn stuff. Anywho, I love you guys. Have a great day, Linga. Thank you for asking how my healing's going. Many blessings to you and everybody who else is on here. Blessings, love, and light. And I will be seeing you all tomorrow. Have a great day and have a good sleep, Linga. Bye bye.